Good morning. Today is October the 2nd. It is a rainy day. It is fighting to be 45 degrees, a little chilly. And we are in the Five Bogs, and we are going to do a pattern sweep today to look and see if we can find any evidence following up on some activity from about 2 weeks ago. Thanks. We are making our way towards the pond that we were at before after an amusing attempt to drone in the rain. It actually did do okay. I'm not going to tax it beyond what I had. The rain's going to be all day, so we took the day off to come up here and follow up on some activity, so we're here, we're going to do it. The weather sucks, but I've applied the principle, a good day, a bad day. Fishing's better than a good day in the office. So, c'est la vie. With rain poncho on, it's about 45 degrees, so it ain't warm. It's wet. And I look forward later to basically drying everything out. Hopefully nothing fries. Kind of have a Les Stroud deja vu thing right now, because all the times he was on Survivor Man complaining about keeping his cameras going in crap weather. I have a taste of that right now, although so far things are holding up. It's just a rainy day, but we'll see what we find. The pluses of a rainy day, no one else is here. So it's just me and whatever is normally here, although it could be the target of my search is laying low in the water because it's wet out. We shall see. But we're going to try to keep the walking there segment short to keep the camera as dry as we can. Not a raging downpour, but it's wet enough. So here's a quick, we're on our way there kind of thing, and we'll be back in a bit. Pond, still raining obviously, and I thought we're going to go this way. Thought I heard something, but with all the pitter patter of the rain through here, anything you hear could be anything. It's going to be another one of those days where I just accept the fact I'm basically going to get soaked in here and say it is what it is a lot, because it is. Once upon a time I had the $5 rain poncho going bushwhacking and I got shredded. This being the $12 Cabela's Special rain poncho, and with pointy sticks right here, we'll see how this one does. But with luck, it won't get chewed up too bad. I wouldn't mind using it again, and we're right here, so that way in was actually a lot easier than the one I did the last time, because we're already here. Comes right down to it. Nice. So get out here, have a look, maybe do a call or two, and get some photos of the area. I'd say get my feet wet, but that's already happened. We're already there. That's funny. Staying dry on a day like today ain't gonna happen. So let's just try to keep the camera minimally. Borrow Bullwinkle's bed here. Show you what I mean. This is basically a moose bedding area, I think. And again, we're going to use this as a vantage point. Actually, let's do this. Zoom in, get a better look at the colors before we pan. And after that, I'm going to take a break to get some photos too. Again, it's a damn pity that I can't use the drone more, but the fact there's a lot of fog too, and more dangerous to the drone than the rain is the fog, because it does play havoc with sensors, and I really don't want to go and spend the whole day in the rain looking for a crashed drone. So we're going to take a break from the segment and get some photos of this, and then probably just do some calls and see if anything answers, and then we're gonna move on if not. Calls made, photos taken. It's up to whatever's here that wants, if they want to talk or if they're hunkered down in the rain. I cannot really blame them for that. Just to give you a quick look at what it's like in here. Lots of down stuff. If you head that way, it gets a lot harder to go. The reason I haven't gotten around the backside of this pond yet is finding an approach that is not... this is fun enough, but you get a lot of terrain and texture in here, as I call it, but going to the other side, it basically really quickly becomes impassable. So, and as promised, I am soaked, but we expected that. So far, the $12 special is holding up though, and more importantly, doing its job. If I had not brought that today and tried going out, I would be soaked in the 40s, and if I'm being blunt, probably pushing my luck with regards to hypothermia too. So, the little $12 poncho from Cabela's, Dick's, whatever, is always a handy thing to have in your pack for days like this. So, pond number one. You can take a minute and listen. Then we're going to let the camera have another dry break so it can dry off. And no real signs of life in here today. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if anything around is hunkered down to get out of the rain, unlike myself. So we're going to get moving, and we'll pick up the next segment when we are a little ways away. And we're back. Making our way to spot number 2. Kind of going at a weird angle here, but we're getting wet either way, it doesn't matter. Walking through the brush, we're going to get soaked either way. No point in whining. Go around the pines, if only to spare the camera. Try to minimize the poncho getting hooked on things too, which is already trying to. I'd like to salvage it for reuse if I could. Okay. So we're walking out on Bognum. Well, it's a meadow, but when I named it the 5 bogs, it was taken as sort of a bog. It can kind of bog down in the rain, and it might just do that now. But that's all the charm of a rainy day. Yep, there's the water. So there's a decent chance of getting soggy, but This is not a surprise, and there's a, right there, there's the hidden stream, so if you walk in there, you get soggy feet off of that too. Going through this tall stuff is going to accomplish the same thing. Fuck, right into the water. Huh? Right into the water. Right into the water. So, since I'm already soaked, quick pan of the first meadow. Not our total destination, but a starting point. And it makes me look forward to the nice soggy. There's another freaking line of water. Awesome. At this point, I'm just trying to get out of the tall grass onto something that I can walk through like this. Okay. Slightly better, more bumpy, but less cover, more eye pokey. But a little more rain resistance too. But so from the knees down right now, maybe the mid-thigh, totally soaked. And we're going to take the path of least soaking and poncho stabbing. Easier said than done. Pardon me for a minute. Try to mitigate some of the water on the camera. Hold on, I'm going to restart. Alright, we're back. I had to reset the camera to get it over being manhandled. But it was soaked, so. Okay, so if you can see that deer poo, or moose poo, making our way to the third bog over here. Let's do this. It's actually a little more open up in here, so the poncho is holding up as I jinx it. But coming up on the ultimate destination of this. I typically fly the drone over this particular meadow slash bog, and the wedge bog is further, but we're not going to go that far today given the weather. We're going to kind of operate within limits today, just because the conditions kind of suck. But go out this way. And for those of you that are not aware, this is the location slightly that way where my first run-in with groups, with the first group I ran into, one of them in here, that was, oh, the colors right there, absolutely worth the journey, even in the rain. The first encounter slash pseudo escort out of the area. My ultimate theory is that they were nested in there, and despite the look, the woods out that way, if you get into them, actually open up decently once you're beyond the pine line there, and you can get around in there fairly easily. So I'm going to kind of stick to the rim here because these meadows become like big sponges, and basically what would normally be dry ground is not. So you can hear the scoosh sound already. But as a pan of the area, let me again kind of zoom in a little bit to get a better hint on the colors. There's the thing I call the Pine Island. Little beaver pond over there and the stream that runs through. So, let me just look around in here real quick for any obvious imprints or whatever. Bearing in mind this is what I'm walking on. This stuff, so. Any luck of that nature is exactly that, luck. But I'm kind of trying to stick to the parts that are not deceivingly underwater. The first time I tried to get over that meadow over there, it was the back part over here that was flooded. And it was getting deeper and deeper, so I kind of went around in that. This is in October, not May. And my other sighting was in there, probably in about 200 yards. But that was in October, like 5 months after the first one. I don't even think I've given the whole sequence of events, and even that's kind of like a unabridged version of it, but my suspicion is, however, we're kind of running into the swamp, so this might be where I stop. My suspicion is they've moved southwest and further up the mountain a little bit, or along the rim of the mountain. But again, this is what we're looking at. And in order to dry the camera off, I'm going to take a quick segment. We'll keep it on, whatever. It's holding up, it's not giving. In extreme heat and cold, every now and then this camera gives unhappiness signals, for lack of a better word, and goes into safety mode. But it's not particularly cold out. I think it's warmed up into like the low 50s, which isn't freezing. It's, it's not summer, but it's not freezing either. It's actually like a nice autumn temperature. And its case is not exposing innards to the wetness, so I mean, as long as it dries out, I guess it'll be fine. But might as well keep you along for the ride while we're making our way back through this and get back to the first bog and get all soaked again. Looking forward to it. I almost said that convincingly too, didn't I? Is that dry or no? It is. Alright, so we're going to walk in back into the tree line here. Well, looks like a pretty obvious game trail. Probably made by the resident bullwinkle. And make our way back to the first meadow. And then I guess we're going to head out just because the weather's not getting any better, so it is about where I'll go this way. I don't want to poke up the poncho, so the weather is going to steadily be this for the rest of the day, so you know what, you need to freaking, ow, you son of a bitch! You need to fucking think about, pardon my French, navigating and not just going in a straight line. And at this point, we're just going to power through this. Move. If I remember to, I'll try to edit out that F-bomb. I tend only to do that when I retweak my knee, which is still not perfect from a couple of weeks ago. Which is a gentle reminder you should probably stretch before you hike if you're going to bushwhack, because the one time I slid a couple of weeks ago I hadn't been, and I wrenched or popped something, and the net effect of it is that the real major side effect was that I had a decent amount of discomfort going downstairs, just the way the muscles lined up. It wasn't happy, so don't do that. To quote the guy that I was with the time after that, learn from my mistakes. There's the moose poo. No need to show you again. You saw it once. Once is plenty. And we're going to do a slight detour, kind of follow the way we came in. And we are approaching the soaking zone. So it is annoying that the branches want to grab the poncho and rip it. I'd really rather they not. Although so far it's holding up pretty good. As I once again jinxed it, but we're almost out. So unless something happens in the next 4 minutes or so, or on the way out, my theory is that your local population of whatever is hunkered down for the day, just because it's kind of, it's like early autumn, but it's cold enough to see your breath, or at least it was briefly before, and being that it's wet, probably just chilly enough to freaking not make things want to be that active today. So trying to minimize that, because every time I shake a tree, all the water comes down on me and the camera, which screws up. Hopefully it doesn't screw up the shot. But back into the tall grass. The reason I always harp about not being able to see my feet is these little meadows are notorious for sudden dips in hidden streams, and that's how you, if you step wrong and you hyperextend something, that's how you wrench things like my knee. Yeah, I'm looking down right now because I know there's another one coming up. And I did walk through a wet spot, so I know it's, I'm walking through it right now. But that's, crap, there it is. Missed me. And then unless this is waterlogged, which it mildly is. That's alright, I can feel my socks swimming. It is what it is at this point. Once your feet are soaked, suck it up. And I think as we walk through this area looking for where we found tracks and signs of bedding down before, but now with it being overgrown by colorful leaves, I see nothing obvious. I think we will call the segment here and let the camera dry off a little bit. So there may or may not be another segment. If not, I'll say it once. I hate saying this because everybody on YouTube says this. Click the button, like and subscribe if you want to, and otherwise if you are a subscriber, I'll see you on the next video, which I'll probably make tomorrow actually, but thanks to the rain, we're going to call this one here probably. See ya.